A blighted property that was once posed a safety risk in Marietta is now on track to become affordable housing for seniors. Fairfield Homes has been awarded low-income housing tax credits from the Ohio Housing Finance Agency for a new 65-unit development in the city's Harmar Village neighborhood. The project will sit on and around the site of 605 Pearl Street, an infamously blighted property the Southeast Ohio Port Authority purchased and demolished several years ago through its residential revitalization program. The new community will offer 1- and 2-bedroom apartments for active adults 55 and older, with rents restricted to households earning between 30% and 80% of the area median income. Port Authority President Jesse Rouse says getting to this point took years of work with neighboring landowners and developers.
It is exciting and it is very satisfying to see that there was recognition from the developer that we had been intentional about selecting an area in the city that was prime for development, that did have some barriers for outside investment, which was a significantly blighted piece of property that was a public health and safety risk. We effectively created a local landowner partnership that ultimately became attractive to outside investment, and now we have this amazing project moving forward as a result.
Rouse says the property still has hurdles ahead, including floodplain mitigation and local permitting, but the hopes is to break ground by next spring. Fairfield Homes could not be reached for the comment on the development.